Hey guys, and welcome back to another reaction video. Yeah, I'm still using this here model for a few more videos, simply because I thought, hey, maybe people will like it better. You never know. So yeah, today we'll be reacting to SCP-093, the Red Sea Object Part 2. And yes, it's by the oh so funny named TheRubber. Yeah, I still find that funny. Yeah. My brain is pretty much set on toilet humor, as they call it. So, yeah.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh,
Several shots were fired at the creature's face. When the creature's
hey,
face fell
no
on
need
him
to
and
shoot
the
me.
camera was pushed to the ground,
I'm not that ugly.
screams were obscene. Hello everybody, I'm TheRubber. Today, we bring you SCP Foundation Euclid Class Object SCP-093 Part 2.
I feel attacked.
SCP-093 is a red disc carved from cinnabar with symbols on it. It will change hue when held by a living individual. A series of testing on human interaction
Yeah, if
with
I would
mirrors
hold it, it
while
would
holding
probably say,
093
nope.
have been authorized. To know more about 093 and its first mirror test, click here to watch Part 1. Records below details the
I
second
already watched
testing.
Part 1.
Mirror
And I think I
test
reacted
2.
to it
Color
already too.
green. Test subject D54493 was a 23-year-old female with average physique
aka she's
and
dead.
had a history of car robbery and second-degree murder of 2 children. The subject entered the provided mirror while holding SCP-093, which emitted a green color. Outside technicians observed that the mirror retained a true reflection until subject had completely passed into it, at which time the view changed to a farming landscape, heavily tinged in green. The camera was on. The subject looked up, and in front of her was a farmland. The field had been long abandoned, with the remains of a rotten scarecrow placed in the middle. On the right was a 2-story farmhouse with a basement shelter entrance at one end. The subject then headed over and investigated the perimeter of the farmhouse.
Quite literally, actually.
There, she found 2 children's bicycles leaning on the house near the cellar door. As the subject entered the cellar, on the stairs were boys' clothes, arranged in descending order, shoes to shirt. The subject started screaming at the control center and asked if this was some sort of sick joke. It was unknown if SCP-093 was linking the subject's past with her landscape. After several minutes, the subject agreed to continue. The basement was
You killed 2 kids, and you're afraid of a bit of clothes
with unnamed
that happen to be children's clothes.
Subject panned the camera across the basement slowly. It looked as if it had been abandoned for some time, and subject complained of a stench. The subject then opened and entered the hatch.
Sorry that I farted.
Below the hatch was a white concrete tunnel. The inside of the hatch was spacious, about half the size of the actual cellar itself. There were 3 bunks, 1 for a couple and 2 for single use. Several boxes of food marked as cereal filled a waste container near the hatch bottom. On the beds were 2 skeletons, and on the floor was a third, lying next to a 6-shooter revolver. On the other side of the skeleton, a bound book was found. The subject retrieved and placed the book into a field kit container upon request. She was also told to keep the old clipped articles that were on a desk into the field kit container. The subject was told to leave the bunker. When the subject grabbed the ladder and was ready to leave, the camera caught a humanoid figure peeking down from the top of the tunnel. But subject stated that nothing was up there and started climbing up the ladder.
God.
At the top of the tunnel, the subject insisted that there was nothing there. She vomited immediately after the hatch was closed. After coughing for a while, the subject suddenly heard a noise. She was startled by the sound, but control reported no audio. Subject approached cellar hatch cautiously. pulled out firearm, and lifted her head just enough so camera can view the
And
outside
she's
area.
gonna die.
In the distance,
Oh, yeah.
approximately 700 meters from the farm, two massive humanoid beings were crawling across the landscape. They have no
She's
facial
gonna
features.
die.
The arms they used for crawling were short at times and long at others. It's different each time they move. There was no rear area to the beings.
Oh
All
no,
bodily
they don't have an
design
ass.
appears to end at the torso. The two creatures took approximately 10 minutes to disappear into the distance. Then the subject began to panic and
What the
begged
fuck? What
to
the
return.
fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Request declined. Subject instructed to enter the home from the cellar through a rusty hatch in the
That's
ceiling.
probably what she was
The subject
saying
entered the
while
kitchen
she was
first.
panicking.
All of the items were coated in heavy dust. The subject then entered the living area. There was a recliner, a couch, and a television, all of 1950s style design.
Those things
The
are
main
ancient.
door of the home was nailed shut with thick wood planks. Camera panned to a staircase leading upstairs. When subject reached the top of the stairs, there were two doors, one on each side of the hallway.
And a
at the end
laundry
of the
chute.
hall, a dumbwaiter was inlaid into the wall.
Oh.
The door on the left led to a master bedroom. The bed was neatly made, but the wardrobe next to it was thrown open, and clothes were everywhere on the floor. Subject quickly left the room because of the horrible odor. The second
Well,
door led
jeez.
to a shared
I
children's
know I
bedroom,
smell
which
like a
seemed to
skunk when
belong
I
to
fart,
a boy
but
and a
damn.
girl. There was also a window which subject approached, and upon request, she moved the camera to capture the outside view. When the camera panned down and filmed the area
Holy
around the house,
shit.
approximately 300 figures
Well,
were all
she's
standing
dead.
right up at her. Subject asked to confirm the figures, but stated nothing was there. The subject was told to quickly return.
She's
Nothing
dead.
happened
She's
when
dead.
subject got out of the
She
farmhouse.
is fucking dead.
Subject returned through point
Ah.
of origin, and mirror returned to reflective surface. SCP-093 relinquished.
Fucking
Mirror
ads.
test 3. Color violet. Subject was
Seriously, fucking ads.
D84930. Male, 21 years old, and had a record of second-degree murder of a police officer during a drug bust. This subject was uncooperative. Subject entered the provided mirror while holding SCP-093, which emitted a violet color. The mirror retained a true reflection until subject had completely passed into it.
No
The
shit.
view changed to a cityscape, urban, lightly tinged in purple. Camera turned on and
Ooh.
panned around the area.
That actually looks nice.
Subject was in a modern downtown district similar to a city like
Mainly
New York.
probably because my
The streets were
favorite color
almost
is
empty,
purple.
with only a few cars of unknown model. The subject wiped off a window that was covered in dirt and discovered that the inside of the car was completely filled with a strange brown matter. The other two cars were the same. However, the inside of the fourth vehicle was immaculate. The doors to this vehicle were unlocked, and subject entered the car and then quickly closed the door, hoping that he would be able to escape by cutting off the cable. Subject argued with Control over this issue. Subject looked around the cityscape from the car, while Control was discussing how to proceed since the city landscape was far larger than the previous test destinations. During one pan, a face was clearly seen staring into the car, and eyes were on the subject.
Oh my
However,
god,
this was
that's
not
so
noticed until
creepy.
post-test footage review. Control soon informed subject to remain where he was, and a team of 4 armed personnel were dispatched through the mirror to join him. Subject was then instructed to remove his harness. Subject's video feed then ended and was replaced by a wireless camera used by the escort team. Subject left the car and moved with the team. They then entered a building with XEA Research Partners Incorporated hanging on all of the glass doors.
Research Partners
In
Incorporated.
the lobby, there was a C-shaped
Someone had a
receptionist
bad
desk
time naming.
with a PC terminal on the desk. The team approached and examined the PC, and Faithful OS appeared on the screen, which required a password to log in. After one failed
Password.
attempt, the PC turned off automatically. Behind the receptionist
That would be
desk
funny.
were 2 elevator
Alright.
doors.
Let's type in
Using the
a
elevator
password.
on the right, the team
Try
was
password.
instructed to proceed to the highest floor, level 114, to get an overview of the city. At level 114, the doors opened, and the team entered a large lounge. A series of windows were open, and the team went over to place the camera outside.
But then...
The city below was gray and silent. Some buildings in the city were covered with strange brown growth, as if a gelatinous mass were flung and then seeped down before hardening. From another window, the team noticed a highway that encircles the city, upon which crawled another of the large half-body humanoids, dragging itself with its elastic arms as witnessed in previous tests. It traveled the highway, then moved out of sight. The team then returned to the elevator and agreed to travel to level 74.
Don't see that every day.
The 74th floor was a doctor's office. At the reception desk, there was a sign in form with the date of 1953. They opened a door sketched with the title Dr. Borisiskai, Blessed Purificationist, and a crucifix, which led them to a white dust-free hallway, with 2 examination rooms and a key-coded door at the end. A small amount of C4 was placed on the lock of the key-coded door and
That's
then
a bit
exploded,
much, don't
forcing
you
the door
think?
to open. The area contained 6 large containment capsules. 2 were broken, 1 was empty, and the last 3 had nude humans floating in them, with breathing masks. Attached to the front of these tubes were medical charts showing vital signs and conditions of these bodies. Control asked for a zoom of one of the patient's pages on the chart. It wrote, Citizen Alberius Farafan struck out at a high father during a sermon, blaspheming that the Lord's tears did turn his daughter to be unright in mind and heart, thusly laying blame for her whorish activities at the feet of the high father and his blessing. Alberius Farafan should bathe in the Lord's tears himself for a week to be cleansed of mind and soul, thus to prove his daughter's ways are fault of not the father's hands and to give him peace of self. Subject started to panic. The camera panned to focus on him, and he was surrounded by entities similar to those witnessed in the first 2 tests. Control told them to stand still and wait. Subject screamed at the entities. Control requested one of the members to approach and recover him. The entities parked to make a pathway for the approaching member, who lifted Subject to his feet and brought him out. The entities kept staring at the subject no matter where he moved to. Control requested the team to return immediately. Before leaving, a team member took a binder labeled The Lord's Tears on the reception desk, and then put it in the subject's field kit.
Probably.
Upon leaving the building, Subject pointed at one of the large torsos crawling at the entry point. It turned its featureless head to look at the escort team, raised its head to the sky, and emitted a bellowing sound. Team leader issued them to move quickly. The creature on the highway extended an arm down to touch the ground. All but one member of the team passed through the entry point. Subject passed through entry point, and mirror returned to reflective surface. The subject quickly dropped SCP-093, but was executed by the team leader as subject pulled out the field kit pistol. The uniform and possessions of the escort team member who was left behind were present and recovered, but the member himself is nowhere to be seen.
Yo,
and does
dude,
not
quit
respond
running
to
around
shouts,
naked!
And his wireless receiver was recovered. Later review of the recovered camera showed the member was grasping for air, and then turned to look up at the oversized torso. A brown gel dripped off the creature as it moves, but disappeared shortly after being dislodged. Several shots were fired at the creature's face. When the creature's face fell on him and the camera was pushed to the ground, his screams were obscene. Camera feed remained dark for approximately 65 seconds before light came back, and the camera filmed the creature crawling back to the highway. The member believed to have been absorbed by the creature and perhaps digested. Before we end this video, we are proud to
Well, that'll be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you have any suggestions for videos you would like me to react to, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And also, I could use some feedback on the fact that I'm using this model here. Just saying. I mean, not gonna lie, but I actually feel more comfortable than actually showing my face. But yeah, other than that, hope you enjoyed the video, And I'll see you guys in the next video of whatever I'll be making. So yeah, bye.